who's a project associate at the National Institute of Advanced Studies, to speak on the non-conventional threat at the Bay of Bengal region. She has an interest in environmental issues along with the Northeast. So over to Ms. Saurina.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for the kind introduction. Today, the topic that I have broadly been given is to speak on the non-traditional security threats in the Bay of Bengal. And I will try and summarize the trends as much as possible. Like before I identify and summarize the trends, I would like to just draw attention to the fact as to how the Bay of Bengal as a maritime region has evolved to being a strategic and an economic space. And this took place in three phases. First phase will be definitely to go back and see how in the colonial times the Bay of Bengal assumed an importance for the colonial rulers of the time, and how the Bay of Bengal became a site for massive constructions, whether it's the Madras Presidency or the or in Myanmar or in Calcutta Presidency. So since the colonial period, the Bay has always been a transnational link for trade, for spice route, for migration, for illicit drug trafficking that took place from Myanmar to Bangladesh, former Bangladesh, and to the whole Bay. So moving from this colonial period, in the post-colonial period, the Bay of Bengal's geopolitical shift happened when the countries in the Cold War period started looking at the Indian Ocean as a larger maritime space, and that also happened when U.S. and Russia started being the major players and started looking at Indian Ocean as a larger maritime space. So, with this, the Bay of Bengal started becoming associated with the larger maritime narrative that Indian Ocean region was starting to build. So, even though in this geopolitical shift, the non-conventional trends such as migration, the the labor migration, the human migration, the conflicts in the region, the natural disasters. This particular region, I will be harping on that fact in a couple of minutes, has been prone to natural disasters. So Bay of Bengal as an ecological and unit also simultaneously started playing around. So in the Cold War period, another shift in how the Bay of Bengal region as a geopolitical zone started looking at when India started playing its foreign policy in the region, and also the formation of the Bangladesh with US enterprise coming very close to the Bay of Bengal. So for a very long time, how Bay of Bengal should be approached as from the traditional and the non-traditional quarters remained contingent on how the larger power politics in the region has played out. Now, this brings me to the third phase on how the Bay of Bengal as a strategic quarter emerged is also in the post-Cold War period. With liberalization, India being the larger India sharing the largest geography with the other Bay of Bengal countries, it started charting out its look east policy with a maritime component. And as look east policy became an Act East policy with a maritime component, simultaneously the other Bay of Bengal countries, that is, whether it's Bangladesh or Myanmar, started charting its look west policy. And at the same time, India's relation in the SAARC and India's relation with Pakistan started deteriorating, even though it has its own curve of up and down. But with a steady way in how the Bay of Bengal region has evolved is contingent on all these three factors. So geopolitically, Bay of Bengal had a shifting identity, but non-traditionally, it has always had a very permanent identity of how the Bay of Bengal will have a very fluid geography with a sort of transnational borders, with how migration has taken place. So this brings me to the second part of the presentation on how the Bay of Bengal region started getting an institutional link, and that's where the non-traditional security threats becomes important. And that started happening when the leadership from the region, especially leaders from India, from Thailand, from Myanmar, from Bangladesh, started giving a new push to the regional grouping of the BIMSTEC. even though it has been only recently that the leadership has started to push the BIMSTEC region, and that kind of gave the Bay of Bengal its maritime cognizance that was so far lacking in the political quarters, geopolitical quarters. And that what made it important that the non-traditional security started becoming overlapping with the geopolitical trends. So at one point, Bay of Bengal became an important link for economics. It became a place where the Himalayan economy, which is totally contingent on the on the riverine economy and on the bay, started getting its own significance. It also became a place where the Malacca dilemma could be cut off for China. So so just like we see that the traditional factors which the speaker before me, Dr. Sheila, that actually pointed out that China started playing a very big role in how the Indian Ocean narrative will be shaped and reshaped. Similarly, the Bay of Bengal narrative started getting played in multiple manners. And that brought out the other factors in how the non-traditional factors on migration, on ecological issues started simultaneously getting cognizance. So when when we try and look and summarize what were the non-traditional security threats, we can actually summarize it in three factors. The factors will be first and foremost, the whole Bay of Bengal region is a very disaster prone region with the maximum amount of human population. Hence, displacement and natural disasters were a constant threat to the region, which brought about food security, water security, and the cumulative human security aspect to the forefront every single time. But that did not get much of a cognizance until and unless the Bay of Bengal gained its political and its geopolitical significance in the leadership quarters. That's the first one. So now that we are trying to also summarize how this region is going to unfold in a post-COVID order, well, it is important to look at the region when the post-COVID order has actually brought out the fault lines of the geopolitical scenario. At one hand, we see the transnationality being a challenge. Closed borders have become concepts that is constantly challenging the transnational concepts. And this clash is going to be there for a very long time. So if this is the clash that's going to be, then Bay of Bengal will be a region that will have to redefine itself when it comes to migration, when it comes to fluid ecological borders and transboundary identities, because that's the basic threshold on which the Bay of Bengal as a region, as a zone where both human, environment, labor, economics, all these concepts mix together. So that's the one particular trend that I would want to highlight that's going to emerge from the region. The second will be on how Bay of Bengal as an ecological space is going to also bring in a space for cooperation. Because the COVID post order has also brought out the necessity where natural disasters have happened during a COVID time. And that has also shown how states have actually cooperated among each other, both in health and disaster and in mitigating a disaster. That will be another area where cooperation is going to start off. And the third will be on the trend on economics. We see that how migration and remittances have started falling down when borders have been closed. So, a region that is so marked by migration, how the states of the Bay of Bengal will really have to understand how remittances is going to affect their economy. And it has already started affecting the economy. So, at one point, we see the fluid borders getting challenged. At the same time, the fluid economy is also going to be challenged simultaneously. That will be the third trends that I would want to point out from the region. And the last trend which I'm particularly thinking about that might emerge from the region is how these countries are going to negotiate their health issues, especially when with migration, with all being a conflict prone region as well, the conflict has also spiraled along with the movement of people. So at the same time, health is also going to play a very, very pivotal role in how the non-traditional security threats are going to play out from the region. And that is also going to happen when from the strategic waters, the Bay of Bengal region will continue to be an important zone. Now, that is also contingent on how the power politics in the larger sphere plays out. now Bay of Bengal is increasingly becoming associated with the Indo-Pacific narrative. From the Indian Ocean, now it has become associated with the Indo-Pacific narrative. So when this shift happens, the Bay of Bengal region, especially the non-traditional security threat that still remains constant, it will be interesting to see that how the country, especially the leadership, kind of negotiates this continuously unfolding identity of the Bay of Bengal region, first with Indian Ocean, then with the Indo-Pacific. With this, I would want to end the presentation.